I think, to be fair, for the last number of years, all of you, all of us together, and it is all of us working together, have made significant progress in trying to establish what it is meant to be the role of the C&V sector in our society. And, you know, I have only 6 minutes, but over the last number of months, relatively informally, we've been engaged with organisations like the Wheel in trying to advance the concept that it's not unique, that I've been advancing, and that is the need for a structured dialogue with the sector. Now, that's not unique to Ireland, it's happened elsewhere, it's happened very successfully across the water, particularly when Gordon Brown was Chancellor. He had a particular unit in the Treasury that looked after that. But we've got a lot of foundation stones built or laid already. You have, I should say. If you look at what's in towards 2016, you look at the white paper on volunteering, you look at the task force on active citizenship, the analysis of almost every one of those is identical. The need to try and establish what it is makes the contribution of the C&V sector unique. Now, I think it is unique. By the way, Deirdre, I think there are 24,000 odd groups.
I took out the trade unions and the schools.
No, seriously, I mean, there is a huge amount of community and voluntary activity taking place right across the country. And whether you talk about it being in what we see as the traditional organisations to the newer ones involved, that have evolved over the last number of years through area-based partnerships, drugs task forces, LDCs, philanthropy, all of those. What's the vision? I honestly think the vision must be something, and it's not very often that I quote anybody else's party, but if you look at the blacks of a speech that Michael D. Higgins made in the Dáil yesterday evening, because I think it's probably his valedictory speech, and what he meant when he talked about the role of the citizen in society. We're in a very, very difficult space, and I said in 2008 to a fairly curmudgeonly political correspondent that whatever happens, at the other side of this particular crisis, there's going to be a totally transformed society. And I think it is up to all of us to try and fashion a vision for what that society is likely to be. And you know, the values of a republic, you know, equality, right of association, right to a good education, right to employment, right to housing, all of the traditional rights that we all take for granted, but very often don't work hard enough to affirm. So the partnership approach that I've been trying to advance is the one that I would like to see into the future, by whatever government comes in next time and the time after, because this isn't going to be, I hope, just jumping from one type of strategy to another. And can I just say, I really would like to put out the value of the approach of the structured dialogue which I suggested. Deirdre and Paul Sullivan, there are a number of others who've been engaged, I know, in a broader dialogue around that particular area. But the community and voluntary section in my own department has already drafted terms of reference, and I had hoped, to be honest, if the present crisis hadn't emerged, that we would be in a position to start some of the bilateral discussions by now. And we've laid out some working terms of reference and so on, that I believe could advance and could help all of the approaches and all of us working together to bring a significantly clearer focus to what we want to achieve. I'd be quite happy to make available the terms of reference. I think maybe Deirdre and others have seen them, and all of that to you to help your discussion later on. As I said, unfortunately, I have to get back to Leinster House earlier than I had hoped to be able to do so. But that's, first of all, the idea of the vision. I'd like it to be fashioned and crafted by the state and yourselves working together. The state can only be a facilitator, and I've always felt that it shouldn't be anything more than that. And of course, you'll be expecting that you get funding. And what I've been trying to do this year is, is to try as best I can to protect frontline services. The strategy is by and large there. Let's continue what we've been doing. There's about 64 of the larger organisations that are involved in the 3-year envelope, I think that system has worked. I think it's a good system. It's brought in a degree of certainty, and my intention would be that that would be rolled out and continued. The groups who have been engaging with the Department of Taoiseach for 2016 dialogue, I think that needs to be revisited again. I'm not all that happy that we're clear on how it's going to move forward, but that's for all of us together to do. So they're just broadly, in terms of resources, I'd like to think that because resources have been reduced significantly in the last number of years, I tried to stem that reduction as best I could this year. But can I just say, there isn't any more room, and this is kind of advice to everybody else, there isn't any more room for any really further reductions. Because if there were to be greater reductions, I honestly think many organisations would find it very difficult to exist. So I mean, I'm very, very clear that we should try and make sure. But the other thing I'd say to you all, there is a lot of consolidation going on, and a lot of it is very effective and very informal. There is potential for more of it. I'm not talking about trying to get rid of organisations, but I think there is a value in having greater coherence. I banned the word cohesion out of the department when I moved into it because I was sick to the back teeth of it, to be honest with you. Coherence is what is required in the sector as well as in the other sector. I'll finish with that. By its very nature, it's not possible, I think, to be as specific as you would like. But look, if we can continue the approach that you and the department have been working on for the last number of years, you know, we can make a significant progress.